My name is Terrance Henne, and I am from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, and I work out of the Pittsburgh office. I am the managing partner of the Pittsburgh office of Mintzer, Sarowitz, Zaris, Ledva, and Myers. Well, my background is in claims investigation and claims handling. Prior to becoming a lawyer, I was actually a claims adjuster for a transit agency located in Pittsburgh. It was known at the time as the Port Authority of Allegheny County. And I started there when I was 18 years old, started investigating claims and worked for them, worked my way up, becoming a senior claims adjuster. And then I went to law school, became an attorney, and actually became the chief legal officer of the Port Authority prior to leaving the Port Authority and entering private practice back in 2006. My main focus is civil litigation. I handle a multitude of different types of disputes involving employment litigation, serious personal injury cases, significant property losses, any number of situations that our clients may become involved in where they require legal representation. I provide that kind of services. My main focus would be trial work in the litigation process. Yes, there was probably one case that sticks out in my mind over the years, and it was a case involving a woman who was working at the time as a grant writer for the UPMC medical facility in Pittsburgh. She was on her way to work, and she had stumbled and fallen in a crosswalk in the Oakland area of Pittsburgh, and she was down on the street, and a UPMC bus was handled by a private entity ran over her, and she sustained significant injuries. I represented her in the action against the employee bus company, and she was probably one of my favorite clients ever. And we got a very good result for her. And to this day, I still get Christmas cards from her, and every once in a while I'll get a phone call just to check up. What was really interesting is I got to know her whole family through the litigation process, and her dad was a big-time gardener, so I used to get fresh tomatoes, fresh basil from their garden. It was just a really nice family, and that was a significant case that ended very well. For me, the moment that I thought I excelled was probably came about in 2000. I had been a lawyer for about 9 or 10 years, and I was invited to apply for membership as a fellow in the organization known as the Allegheny County Academy of Trial Lawyers. And that is an organization that selects 350 defense lawyers and 350 plaintiffs lawyers from over 7,400 lawyers in Allegheny County. So I was invited to join that organization and was fortunate enough to become elected to membership on the first ballot, so to speak, and was one of the younger members to ever have done that, given the fact that I was not I wasn't a significantly experienced lawyer at the time, but I had done, for my age and level, a number of rather large cases. So that was recognized, and I was inducted as a fellow in the Academy of Trial Lawyers, to which I still belong to today. That was a probably one of the better moments in my career. What I like about being an attorney is really helping the people. I tell clients all the time that we as attorneys are like lifeguards. You hope you don't need us, but if you do, we better be there and be prepared. And that's, I think, important, as well as the fact that lawyers and judges make the system work. The jury trial system is really the way we as a civilized society handle our disputes. We don't have jousting anymore. We don't have duels. We have the jury trial system. And I am a firm believer in the jury trial system. And it is a cornerstone of democracy. All the attacks that our democracy has undergone in recent years, we still have the jury trial system. Is it a perfect system? No, it's not perfect, but it sure beats whatever's second. Well, what I like about living in Pittsburgh really is the people. Pittsburgh is a probably moderately large city, but it feels like a small town. The people are very welcoming. The people are very interested in what you do. I've lived here my whole life, and it always amazes me that you could be in a grocery store, a bakery, beer distributor, anywhere, and everyone will talk to you about how are you doing, what's going on, what do you think of the Penguins, what are the Steelers going to do, all of those kinds of things. And I've been to a number of other cities, and it's just not the same. So that's one of the things I like about Pittsburgh. And another thing I like about Pittsburgh is what we can offer. When you're in Pittsburgh, we have terrific sports teams. Well, at least almost terrific. We have a good football team and a good hockey team. And we have plenty of things for culture. We have a great theater district in downtown Pittsburgh that is thriving. We have a number of outstanding medical facilities, great universities, and it's an all-around good area to raise a family and to be part of a family. Well, fun fact is that I almost didn't become a lawyer at all. Years ago, before I went to law school, I was coaching a semi-pro football team, and I got to be friends with a number of people that were in the business, and I was going to become a pro football scout, which is somebody who goes around and you spend a lot of time on college campuses scouting individuals that you think your team might want to draft in the upcoming NFL draft, things of that nature. And I was really, really interested in doing it until I found out that, as glamorous as it sounds, you spent about 50 weeks a year living out of a suitcase in hotels all over the country. And it didn't sound that glamorous after you really got into the nuts and bolts of it. So I kind of put that on hold and decided I was going to go to law school instead. Yes, there are two charities that are very close that we work with quite a bit. The first one is an organization known as Animal Friends. Animal Friends is a no-kill shelter, one of the largest no-kill shelters in the Pittsburgh area, and they do a lot of good work rescuing animals and putting them up for adoption, fostering them. And Animal Friends relies heavily on volunteers, and they are very, very good with their programs. They have opened and continue to add on to a new facility. It's located in the northern sector of Allegheny County, and they just do an outstanding job for all the pets. They do good work with dogs, cats, bunnies. I've volunteered here for a lot of years. Started at the bunny room and worked my way up to walking dogs. So they are an outstanding facility. And the other charity that is close to us is the Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank. In this day and age, it is just amazing to me the number of people in our community that are just struggling to make ends meet and to have decent food, something that many of us take for granted. Each year, I know in the office here, we sponsor families, a couple of families for Christmas dinners. We do it for Thanksgiving, and we participate in a number of activities throughout the year for the Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank. Both those charities are very worthwhile, and please, if you get the opportunity to support them, please do so.